Are you looking for some stunning UI kits for your next design project, or simply looking for some inspiration from other designers? If you answered yes to even one of those questions, this video is for you. In fact, I'm going to share some of the top UI kits which are now available this month and that are going to enable you to kickstart web design and even web apps projects from scratch in a very fast and efficient way. Now, just before you get started, I want to remind you that I recently launched a free course on how to get started in UI UX design. So if you're interested in learning more about this field, feel free to check it out in the link in the description. But now without further ado, let's jump right into the video. So the very first UI kit on this list is the new e-commerce Wireframe Kit by LS Graphics. Now, as you may know, I'm a big fan of the work at LS Graphics, and overall this e-commerce UI kit, I think it's one of the best out there. The design looks clean, and as you're going to see in just a moment, it's going to enable you to create e-commerce websites and even wireframes in a very fast and efficient way. Now, needless to say, they have typography styles, resizing constraints, huge library of elements, and just overall all the things that you really want in a UI kit. There's been plenty of times where I might have downloaded a UI kit, and I'm sure that you can relate to this. And although the initial UI kit looked really cool, as you opened and start working on the actual design, you would realize that maybe the layering system wasn't up to par, or the design system in general was just too complicated or was missing altogether. So those are all things that you want to check out whenever you're considering getting a UI kit, and LS Graphics is one of my sources of reference for that for sure. Now let's move on to the very next one, which is Slick Headers, and this is a UI kit which we're going to find on UI8, and I just love how these headers look. They remind me somewhat of Stripe's website in some cases, but they are an original and unique twist. And I can tell you these type of headers work really well for SaaS companies and a lot of technology companies. You see these type of gradients and these type of designs overall. So it's really modern, and I really like the overall feeling. So if you're looking for some sweet headers for your next design project, definitely check it out. Now let's move on and let's go back to LS Graphics, because as I told you, I'm a big fan of them, and even the UX pages that you can see over here is another example of what I personally consider a great UI kit. So as we're scrolling down, you can see that this is a UI kit which is essentially created to create wireframes and the basic UX foundation of a project. So this is really cool, especially if you're in concept mode and in those stages where you're just discussing with the client the high level of the project. And again, these are all vector shapes with layer styles, well organized, with text styles, out layout, all the goodies essentially. And this of course is a premium feature, but yeah, in my personal opinion, it's worth it. And since we added a premium in the UI kit list, let's go and talk about some free UI kits as well. Now, this is a 50 abstract poster wallpapers by Jan Louis. And as you can see, as we're zooming in the actual Figma document, you can see how these are just some exquisite designs for iOS and mobile designs. I'm sure that you can use them for both iOS and Android, simply because these are kind of like placeholders. You can just resize the actual mobile design that you're working on for that specific project. And then you're going to be able to basically integrate them and adapt them. But I just really love how this is overall looking. And you can see that these are quite detailed designs, and I really like the plays with the gradients. And overall, it's something which is really trendy at the moment. It's really minimal, and at the same time, it's quite, it helps to focus, you know, for example, like even screens like this, like you can see how clean they look, and at the same time you have all of the major focus in the center, but in a very colorful, and it's just a pleasure for the eye. So definitely check them out if you're looking to tackle a mobile app project. And now let's move on to the very next Wireframe Kit, which again is going to be available in the Figma community. And yeah, guys, by the way, you simply have to go on the Figma community, click on duplicate, and you're going to have it in your Figma account for free. So now let's move on to the very next one, which is Create UI Wireframe Kit. And this reminds me a lot of a UI kit that I saw many years ago. I can't really recall the name, but yeah, it just looks really cool. I love how they structured the design system in a minimal and yet efficient way. It's not like an overkill design system, especially for these starter kits. You don't really need to go into all that much detail, but it's still very flexible, so you can potentially expand it as much as you'd like, and as you see fit for that specific project that you're tackling. Same for the typography. I think it looks pretty neat, pretty clear, and overall you can see that this is the components. But as we move below, well, first of all, we're going to find, for example, the heading blocks. As you can see, these looks really clean, and overall they just yeah, they're just very minimal. A lot of variations, as you can see also here in the headers. Very clean design, looks amazing, and you have all sorts of different elements which you can leverage for your next web design project. So I'm not going to go through all of them one by one, since of course it's it's a very big UI kit and I don't want to bore you, but you can have a look at it and duplicate this on your Figma account, and you're going to be able to basically go through it. So yeah, very last one is Building Blocks by Aaron Shetland, and as you can see, this is as the name suggests a basic sandbox kind of wireframe UI kit, meaning that it's going to enable you to create the basic foundation. So as you can see over here, we have typography, colors, and also basic elements. Here we have the icons, the components, and this is really where the UI kit starts to, where you really start seeing how you can leverage this UI kit in a very easy way for creating wireframes. And I really like the style overall. You can also quickly change, for example, the colors if you are looking to have a specific theme for these wireframes or to structure your design project. But overall, this looks really cool and looks really clean overall. So definitely a UI kit to check out. We also have here the structure components page and also the cover page, but yeah, I guess the bulk of it is going to rely around the components. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I want to remind you that on my channel I have over 500 videos on UI UX design, and basically sharing my over a decade of experience in this field. So feel free to check it out if you're interested in learning more about this, and I'll see you in the next video.